Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's now 6:30 and we're about to commence the meeting. Can I just remind you all that it is being recorded and it can be accessed on wherever for at least the next 6 months. I've forgotten what YouTube for about the next 6 months. Right. Starting with the agenda, can we have apologies for Kate Coulson, and I believe we'll have one from James Kane as well. Yeah. Oh. Have we any declarations of interest for any of the items that appear on tonight's agenda? No. Thank you for that. Mayor's announcements. Yeah, I'd just like to, I don't actually have any announcements, but I would just like to thank all the people who turned out on the most appalling day last Wednesday at the Miners' Memorial. Can I thank Helen and Alan, James and all of his team who absolutely did a sterling job stopping everything from blowing away. John and especially the band who turned up and played. I mean, I think there was loads of water going down inside the instruments. It was not fun. It wasn't. I'd just like to say a thank you, and it was a very nice, simple service, as always. Yeah. Thank you. And that's the end of my announcements. Town Clerk or Deputy Town Clerk, have we anything? No? Okay, thank you. Now, right, now, item 4 is the leader's statement. Jeanette, have you? Yes.
Well, not a lot, I have to say. Obviously, I haven't really been around to be doing a great deal. But firstly, I would just like to welcome Helen on behalf of everyone to the first full council meeting, well, that I'm aware of that you've attended, and say I hope that you're going to enjoy the time that you're going to spend as our clerk here at Stanley Town Council. And really, apart from that, I didn't have anything more to say.
Okay, thanks, Jeanette. We'll move on to item 5, which is public participation. There are no members of the public present. Have we got any letters that have been presented, or have we got any questions from members of the public? Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to item 6, confirmation of the minutes, which is attachment A. To approve as a record and sign the minutes of the ordinary council meeting for the 25th of January 2022. Would somebody like to propose the minutes? Christine, thank you. Would someone like to second that? Thank you. Alex. All right. Receipt of community minutes. Committee minutes. To receive the minutes from the Finance and General Purposes Committee, 14th of December and 2021 and the 11th of January 2022. That's attachment B and C. Do we have a proposer for that?
Propose it.
Right. And we'll have a seconder? Yeah. Thank you. Right. The accounts for payment and bank reconciliation. That's attachments D, E, F, G, H and I. Are we going to take these, do you want these taken as a single item with a single proposer and seconder? Is there anyone? Right. Could I have a proposer for that, please? Christine, you're going to... You propose we take them all right, thank you. All together. Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay. And in that case then, can we approve the payments of the accounts for November and December and note the bank reconciliation for November and December? Proposer, seconder, or are we all in agreement? No dissensions? We are taking them all in one. Yes, that's it. That's the whole lot. Attachments A, B, C and whatever. Yeah, D, E, F, G, H and I all together. I know. No, you don't. It's just to approve. We don't need a proposer and seconder for that, do we? No, we don't. No. Can we approve it? Thank you very much. Right. Moving on to item 9. It's the AAP update. To discuss the matters in relation to Stanley Town Council and antisocial behaviour. Jeanette, are you going to do us this? You circulated it, yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm just open it up. We'll just open it up to the floor and see if has anyone any questions or any suggestions or any input they would like to make to the. Yes, David. Yeah.
Yes, I would just like to know what measures that they're going to put in to alleviate the fears of the public and the workers within Stanley. I've had a few in my residence that won't come out to Stanley after 4 o'clock, and they will definitely not come out on a night time. Don't even like getting the bus. So what we're going to do to help them?
But yes, the police are already have a plan in place that they're following. So they're targeting individual areas where there are issues. With regards to the bus station, which is one of the major issues, they're designing out the problems by closing half of the bus station off and trying to make sure that there isn't the space to run around that they have been doing in the past. I mean, you know, the report there is pretty much telling you what all of the different organisations are doing. And that meeting was to meet with the Police and Crime and Victims Commissioner so that a more strategic approach could be taken. She is going across the county speaking with various groups of officers to be able to get some sort of overview of what's happening across the whole of the county. And then to try and pull together with the Safer Durham Partnership a more strategic plan so that there'll actually be key performance indicators against particular areas that are the police will have to abide by and actually deliver on. So it's to be set at that higher level, and that's where they are at the moment, and then that will filter down to the police themselves. But they are actually, when you look at what they're doing and what they actually need, they're trying their very best, and they've got lots of plans in place where they're taking back young people to their homes, where they're trying to engage with parents. But the thing that came out loud and clear from all of the officers in that meeting was the engagement with parents was one of the most difficult parts of it, and it was an actual gap in the whole situation. Contact with social workers, engagement with parents, reporting, because things are happening to people and they're just not reporting. So these are things that really need to be dealt with at a strategic level to make sure that, for example, we were talking about one spot for reporting instead of 101 where you're on the phone for 155 hours basically waiting to be seen. So they are actually aware of everything. The police have now fed into the Police and Crime and Victims Commissioner and the report that I've done for us. Firstly, I want to apologise because that should have gone to the AAP first, but I wasn't actually well enough to go to that meeting, so I'm having to do it in reverse. You know, the whole situation started from that conversation that we were having about the issues that we were having in Stanley, and the police at that meeting were able to say exactly what they were doing, and I'm sure there's Jones on that and Christine's on that, and heard everything that was the police were actually doing at a local level. So to me, the biggest gap was not locally, it was strategically what we were actually doing, because then it all just becomes very piecemeal if it's individual areas are just doing their own thing basically. So it was to try and get a more a better overview of the situation that the meeting actually occurred. You know, I have no problem at all if we want the police to come along and give us a chat, you know, that's absolutely fine, but they'll just be telling us exactly what we hear at the AAP with your colleagues. Wait, and you attend, David? Did you not hear what he was actually updating you with the last time? Yeah.
But that is not reassuring the public. The public don't know this.
Yeah,
we need to get it out to the public.
You're totally right, and that was one of the other things that came across that actually, and I think it's in my report, education. You know, the public aren't aware of what the police are doing. They aren't aware of the timescales. You know, something might happen with a group of, I think there was about 13 young men who were causing absolute havoc, men and women causing havoc in Stanley. And that whole process with regards to picking them up, taking them home, they come back out, they get the next level of whatever the enforcement is with the police, and then they come out again. That whole process of getting them to a point where they're actually, and one of them is actually in jail at the minute from that group of 13, takes a long time, and the people aren't aware of the process. So that is actually one of the things that's in that report that I put, that came out of the discussion, that actually making sure that the public do know what's happening, do know how long things take, is absolutely crucial. Mm-hmm.
Tell it, David. I'm just saying it because, you know, Stanley is the top of the list. It's been broadcast on social media and the media, in the papers.
Yeah.
You know, 172 instances. That's been reported. God knows how many hasn't been reported. But for Stanley, a little town like us, to have that many, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's saddening.
It's a sad reflection, isn't it?
Well, basically, I was just going to pick up on that obviously I've had several members of the public have actually phoned me and come to me about the statistics in Stanley. And they have asked questions, obviously, around the police. The thing that's unfortunate with this, for me, is I had a very similar conversation with the police over 12 months ago, and nothing has changed on that. And that, for me, is extremely disappointing.
And I think that's why, Helen, if I can just come back on that, for me, if the police aren't being mandated to do certain things by their bosses on high, who are the people that are on the Safe Durham Partnership, then you get what's happening, which is a piecemeal approach. If you have key performance indicators in the Safe Durham Partnership strategic plan, which they have to report back to councillors, and, you know, I was on the overview and scrutiny group, and Joan was on the overview and scrutiny group, that the Safe Durham Partnership have to come back to county councillors and have to explain against those key performance indicators why they're performing or why they're not performing. So for me, you know, with my background, which is, that's what I used to work in, that for me was the most important thing, to get the strategic element right, to start then cascading down, so it gets to that local level where things do change, and there is a change made by the local police, because they're being told they have to by, you know, the chief inspector.
Yeah, yep. And whilst I'm more than happy with all of that, I don't know whether us as a town council need to be seen to be, I don't know, getting more information out there, whether it's to regards of how these processes go, you know, with regards to, it's not just as simple as the police picking a young lad up and telling him off and locking him up or whatever, that we maybe need to realise that there is more than one set of people involved in this. It's not just all about the police.
I think that's
so I don't know whether there's something that we could possibly do. Because I mean, it was a little bit uncomfortable for me, for the 2 or 3 people that I spoke to, because they just expect you to have all the answers, and that's what they expect you to do. And obviously, as I say, I had a conversation over 12 months ago now with the police regarding these same things, and that is just basically what they told me 12 months ago, that they were getting involved in different, you know, and pulling things together, but it still seems as if we're still just doing that. And I know these things take a long time.
Yeah, they do.
But if there's anything that we could do to possibly map out how this process goes through, to be able to maybe show the public.
That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. It is.
I'm assuming you could hear us, could you?
Yeah.
I thought so, yeah. If they could just up the output of their comms. They put things on Facebook and it goes down well. It's under Durham Constabulary and it drops down. But not everybody sees that. So maybe you can suggest to him that to reassure people going into the bus station that maybe they just do some letters to the public and stick them up in the bus station. I mean, it's simple. It's not, but as far as reassurance goes, at least they would know that there was something happening. Because I think that's the big problem. Yeah.
We can very easily invite Dave Stewart along to our next meeting if people would like to have a word with him directly. Yeah.
feed things back to you. It's just that, it's, as you say, it's the public perception of what's actually happening. And they think that nothing is happening. Well, it is.
It is.
I've actually seen it happen with your eyes. I've seen it on Saturday, on the Saturday before. There was productions on. The police turned up and immediately dealt with it. But nobody, unless you were there, you didn't see that. So you might hear it down the street.
It's like like Dave was saying in that meeting, 13% of all of the activity that his team undertake is about antisocial behaviour. So that's a big amount of time, and for them it's a big amount and strain upon their resources, which aren't massive to start with. So, we can do that if people want that.
What's the general view about that? Do you think that it would be helpful to have Dave? Do you think it would be helpful to have Dave come in and talk to us about it? Then at least everyone would know. We're all singing from the same hymn sheet here. There's no ifs and no buts about it. Okay?
I mean, Dave would have come in this week, but, at the end of the day, we needed to have this conversation first about the report and about where we were and our concerns, and then we can invite him to come next time, because he was more than willing to go.
I think that as long as people can see that it's not just words, that there is actually something happening, then they might be slightly reassured about it.
And I am meeting with Andrea Petty, who manages the Safe Durham Partnership now, and Neil Clough, I think he's called, who is the head of community safety, to discuss that meeting and to discuss the report. They've got that report as well. So we're feeding in from very grassroots level, the sort of the boots on the street, basically. So our neighbourhood wardens in Stanley Town Council, Durham County Council, neighbourhood wardens, Carbon Homes, all of the things that they were concerned about and expressed concerns in that meeting have now gone directly into the Safe Durham Partnership and into their new strategic antisocial behaviour group. So, Stanley is having a say and is putting forward what's happening in our area, which is really important, I think.
Thanks for that, Jeanette.
Do we have any Durham County wardens up here now?
Yes.
Well, they used to be out there chasing them on a weekend. But when we had the 5 wardens ourselves, the 2 of us would stop it because they were taking them wardens out the area, dipping, concert all over, and they weren't serving Stanley. That's why we stopped the wardens.
Hello, if I can just jump in, folks, just to remind everybody, we need to use the mic to go through the video. So we can all hear you in the room, but for the rest of the world out there, we need to use the old mic. Thanks.
Right. Has anyone else, I mean, yes, Joan, that's, yeah. definitely take that one on board, because, yeah, like everyone else, we have gone, well, we've been down this road before. I don't know how many times. And let's just hope, fingers crossed, that this time somebody has actually taken notice, and that the fact that it's been out there, you know, for the world to see that our stats are appalling, then maybe, just maybe, this time it'll work. Yeah. Okay, anyone else?
I think the thing is, even if he can't make it, a written report would be nice.
Yeah.
A constant written report. Even if there isn't a meeting, as long as there's one being sent into the council, it can be circulated among councillors, and then we can relay it to the public to tell them what's going on. Because, I mean, it's a month between every full meeting, you know, so a month's a long time.
Every AAP meeting is, as the police are partners at the AAP, every AAP meeting, Dave gives an update at the AAP. So I don't really think we couldn't actually ask him to come in every month, but when he gives his report to the AAP, I don't see any reason why that can't be circulated. If that's...
You know how much the police like writing.
So they did go through a spell probably about a year ago, of dropping us a monthly report in, to be fair. I think when Terry Archibald started, I think he was giving us a direct, I think he used to send it to James Black, and I think he used to circulate it around, so I can have a word with Terry and see if I can get that back on.
I think that would be very helpful, yeah. Yes. Christine?
In the old council, we used to have a police presence at every town council meeting. We used to have an update. You know, we gave them a slot. They came in, they said what they had to do, you know, and went. And I can't see why we can't have that now. But that's just my opinion.
Madam Chair, quite a number of years ago, Durham Constabulary made it quite clear that they were trying to reduce attendance at all parish and town council meetings, because they were using pacts and full community consultation avenues to do that. That was the whole plan, because what they found was the police officers' time was being taken up selling the same information to different groups, so they said it wasn't an efficient use of resources, so that's what happened.
Has everyone had their say on that one? Thank you very much. Right, we now move on to item 11 on the agenda, double taxation, which is attachment K. Are we 10? Oh! Right, it's to, sorry. I thought we'd done with that one, we haven't. The Police and Crime Plan 2021 to 2024, attachment J. We're being asked to receive the letter and the associated information from the Police Crime Commissioner, including the Police Crime Victims Commissioner's plan. It's there for you to read. Well, I assume people have read it because it was in the email, part of the email, wasn't it, Jeanette? There. So can I ask you if we can receive the letter? Yeah. Okay, agreed. Right. I'm on track again. Item 11. It's attachment K, double taxation. The Council is to approve the recommendations of the Finance and General Purposes Committee on the 15th of February 2022 that Stanley Town Council wish to remain part of the process with CDALC, considering the special expenses scheme outlined by Durham County Council. There were some people were on the what is it? The Zoom meeting. Yes, I couldn't remember what sort it was. Some people were on the Zoom meeting and heard it, and the other, for those who weren't, it's in attachment K. So, are we mindful to approve it? Any? Yeah. Yes. Any abstentions? Anyone against? No. Thank you very much. Right. Moving on to item 12, Events 2022, attachment L. And to receive the minutes from the Events Working Group on the 19th of January and to approve the recommendation to the Finance and General Purposes Committee on the 15th of February to extend the current events contract for another year to cover the 2022 events and carry out a full review of events and the events contract in 2022. Can we receive that? Yeah, agreed. Okay, anybody? No. Any dissent? Any abstentions? No. Thank you.
Hello, just a quick update on the events. We had the events meeting the other day. We're a little bit out of step really with these because we've just had a meeting before. Just an update on people. We are working with Scott. We've been looking at Scott to support us with the events. We have mentioned that we would like the Jubilee theme to run throughout the events this year, particularly the play in the parks. And he said he's working on that already. So he's more than happy, thinks it's a good idea. So if we get the contract thing, we didn't get it done last year. Didn't have the time or the capacity. But we'll get that looked at throughout the course of this year, and at least we'll get everything delivered. Okay.
Thanks for that, Alan. Right. Item 13, Governance Working Group. To receive the minutes from the Governance Working Group of the 4th of February 2022, attachment M, and to approve the policies as recommended by the Governance Working Group, that's N, O and P. Appeals policy, publicity policy and code of conduct for members. I'm assuming everybody's had a good look at that one. Any questions on it? Anyone? Are we right?
Just a brief update from me again, folks. Basically, these are the publicity policies, something that we've done ourselves. The appeals policy is a DCC one that we've converted to us for use because it fits alongside all the other policies that we've got, again, that we've brought from DCC. And the code of conduct's the DCC one that all town councils have been asked to adopt. So there's the continuity across the county. From finance, I was asked to arrange some training for people for the appeals panel. I've contacted CDALC and been passed on to HRDCC, and they're going to get back to us for some training. So it's just an update on everybody for that when they're here. But basically, we looked at the pair and we sort of tweaked it slightly for our own needs. Thank you.
Right, thanks, Alan. Right, can we approve the policies as noted? Thank you very much. Right, staffing update. Helen is going to talk us through this one.
It's just to update the council on the current staffing within the office of the town council. It's a bit with mixed emotions that I sort of share this news because I haven't known this person for very long. However, she's decided to leave us, and Nicola will be leaving the town council mid-March. So today really is Nicola's last day, so I just wanted to pass on my thanks to Nicola for all our years of hard work and my personal thanks for her support over the last 12 days because she's kept me at my desk. And she's been a huge amount of support, doing lots of different things, making sure I've been made to feel very, very welcome. So really I just want to say thank you, Nicola.
Jeanette? Yeah.
I would just like to echo those sentiments and to say thank you very much, Nicola, on behalf of all of the members here in Stanley Town Council. You will be missed, and I just wish you the very, very, very best of luck for the future.
Yes. And Nicola, I think, probably predates all of us. There might be, yeah, you do, don't you? You do, pretty much, yeah. And it's really, I'm very, very sad to see you go, Nicola. I am. All right. We'll have a lot to say later on, but anyway. We're now got to the part of the item 15, which is exclusion of press and public. I'm not going to read out the bit of the Act. Can we resolve to do it? Yeah.